80% of the work in government is done by 20% of the people. Our government is filled with the most incompetent and most lazy people.
I don't like clowns.
You know, it's kind of scary that the only way to shame these people would be to accuse them of being normal. Now that the NSA has been exposed, they're scrambling to contain the damage, saying they're looking into the issue and are going to take action.
We told you how Intel officials were using government chat rooms to brag about their fetishes, kinks, and sex changes. Journalist Chris Rufo just uncovered more messages. Viewer warning. Creeps at the NSA were fantasizing about having hermaphrodite babies so they could raise them non-binary.
But the NSA isn't the only place where the abnormal is being institutionalized. In Wisconsin, Governor Tony Evers' new budget includes the following changes to language in state law. Mother is now inseminated person. Father is now parent, and mother is parent who gave birth to the child. Governor Evers is a Democrat, of course, which makes me wonder, why does the party of women keep pretending women don't exist? They denigrate motherhood by claiming anyone can do it. So as this progressive hedonistic outreach spreads, one's whims suddenly become superior to biology. The self has been replaced by fleeting desires. But is it no wonder that liberal women are a mess? Pew Research showed that a majority of young white liberal women have been diagnosed with a mental health condition. And only 12% of female libs are satisfied with life. And they think it's unhealthy to know the difference between girls and boys. So what's going on here? What you see in school, government, and even our elite secretive institutions is a sanctifying of the perverse. And when you live a life of perversity, eventually you're going to need people in charge to preserve it on the taxpayer's dime. No wonder they hate DOGE. Its goal, of course, is ending radical and wasteful government practices. And if high-level intel officers talking about their plastic vaginas all day isn't a waste of tax money.
Liars.
Thieves.
Perverts.
Fucking creeps and lowlifes and degenerates.
Transgender sex chats among the Intel officials. What are we going to do about that?
Well, Jesse, what we're going to do has already been done. There are over 100 people from across the intelligence community that contributed to and participated in this, what is really just an egregious violation of trust. What to speak of like basic rules and standards around professionalism. I put out a directive today that they all will be terminated and their security clearances will be revoked. This is just barely scratching the surface. When you see what these people were saying, and thanks to Chris Rufo for putting it all out online, they were brazen in using an NSA platform intended for professional use to conduct this kind of really horrific behavior. And they were brazen in doing this because when was the last time anyone was really held accountable?
But Intel doesn't like being told what to do. When they saw Musk with the chainsaw doging foreign aid, they started leaking to CNN. If you doge us, there will be consequences. On the CIA's 7th floor, home to top leadership, some officers are also quietly discussing how mass firings and the buyouts already offered to staff risk creating a group of disgruntled former employees who might be motivated to take what they know to a foreign intelligence service. The CIA is telling CNN that if their funding gets cut, they're going to sell state secrets to Russia. Who the hell hired these Benedict Arnolds? The CIA is supposed to be filled with patriots, not sellouts. And the FBI is up to no good, too. Michael Schellenberger is reporting a source inside the FBI says the Bureau is destroying evidence. Now we know what their accomplishments were last week. There's going to be a lot of house cleaning because now we're hearing CIA agents don't like getting DOGE, so they're going to sell state secrets to our enemies. What are we going to do here?
I am curious about how they think this is a good tactic to keep their job. They're exposing themselves essentially by making this indirect threat using their propaganda arm through CNN that they've used over and over and over again to reveal their hand that their loyalty is not at all to America. It is not to the American people or the Constitution. It is to themselves. And these are exactly the kind of people that we need to root out, get rid of.
Find them.
Fire them.
Then throw them in jail.
So that the patriots who do work in this area, who are committed to our core mission, can actually focus on that. I got to tell you, one of the byproducts of what I just saw literally today is because of this immediate action of transparency and accountability, I have people within the intelligence community reaching out to me personally and directly saying, hey, you need to know about this. You need to look over here. People are stepping forward because they are all on board with the mission to clean house and refocus on our core mission of serving the American people.
80% of the work in government is done by 20% of the people. Our government is filled with the most incompetent and most lazy people and an occasional hard worker. And those hard workers are severely punished every time they outwork their colleagues. I use the word work very loosely. One employee spent his time remote working, running his own farm. One employee would come into the office, his start time would be 6:30, and he knew nobody would be there. And when I came in at 7:30 and I was the next person to come in, he was snoring at his desk every single morning. Another employee would take the government truck on an almost daily basis so that he could go out to lunch and then go and take a nap in his favorite park under a shady tree in the government truck.
And those people, they showed up at the office. Last week at the Small Business Administration, 80% of the workers were still working from home. Over the weekend, that flipped.
On Friday, it was like there were tumbleweeds blowing through the office. There were still tags left on desk chairs. And it was my first full day at the agency, and I was so excited to be able to meet people. And to not find anyone there was disappointing. To have 80% of the people back yesterday was amazing, to be able to shake hands. And what's happening is Americans are seeing that they have been paying for empty office buildings, for do-nothing bureaucrats. That ends now.
Big Balls just found $35 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. We can't change our behavior in America. Look at the airports. You think you're going to change behavior in Uganda? We're giving the Europeans $70 million for digital transformation. The Europeans are rich because they don't pay for their militaries. They rely on ours. We shouldn't be giving foreign aid to Europe at all. We give them enough. Our software is from the 60s. We're the ones who need a digital transformation. This isn't even real foreign aid. This is just money for grifters. It all winds up in the hands of rent-seeking consultants. Last year, the Biden administration gave $7 million to a nonprofit called Ocean Conservancy. Who works with Ocean Conservancy? Consultant Sandra Whitehouse, wife of Democrat Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. Senator Whitehouse just happened to vote for the bill that gave his wife the money. And Miss Sheldon Whitehouse has made a lot of money working with Ocean Conservancy, $2.7 million. And this is a nonprofit. Well, she's profited. And so is the senator, since they share a bank account. Sheldon Whitehouse basically took your money and gave it to himself.
Motherfucker.
What does Miss Sheldon Whitehouse's nonprofit even do? They pick up trash on the beach, and they advocate for ocean justice. $7 million for that. A watchdog group's now calling for an ethics investigation into not-so-young Sheldon and his oceanic wife. What do you think Sheldon thinks of DOGE?
I would analogize this to a smash-and-grab robbery. And speed is to your advantage when you're the smash-and-grab robber. And doing as much destruction as you can quickly is to your advantage when you're the smash-and-grab robber.
Shelley Shell thinks Musk's stealing from him and his wife because they got caught lining their pockets. Everyone defending the pork looks guilty.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
Jasmine Crockett, not to be confused with Davy, is angry the train is running out of gravy.
Nearly every one of President Trump's policy initiatives are receiving strong majority support. And I have noted that in every briefing since Inauguration Day. 76% of Americans support the DOGE-led efforts of a full-scale investigation to find and eliminate fraud and waste in government expenditures.
Trump was right about everything. It just came in. Somebody sent it. I said, this was sent in by a fan. I said, I think we should make some of them, right? But we were, pretty much. You want one?
I'll pass.
Are you allowed to take one? Because he'll consider it. I know him well. He's sort of a stiff.
I said you were right.
Brian, you're not a stiff. He's sort of a stiff guy. You know? He'll take other things, but not a free hand.
Unbelievable. No. Did you eat all of your treats? Cooper.
Who did this?
I have a question for you guys. Who did this? Who did this?
Really, Layla?
Is it dinner time?
It is a messed up world.